Happy Sunday, everybody. Hey, welcome to the Rising Stars High School Football Podcast. And as always, let me bring in my guy, Mr. Reggie Booby Wins, ladies and gentlemen. Reds, what's good, my dude?
What up, though? What up, though? Merry Christmas. Happy
Word.
good near gobble, whatever you want to call it, man.
It's coming, man. It's coming. I can taste that dressing and macaroni and cheese and that ham. And
Oh, I just want some cranberry sauce.
Well, it's coming, man. It's coming,
know.
man. It's coming. I'm looking forward to it, bro. This is probably going to be our last podcast for a minute.
Yep.
Maybe we can come back and revisit. You know, I know you're going to have a lot of 7-on-7. We're going into the
We will do that.
winter time of football, so to speak, here. So maybe we can do some things.
December 7th, probably do one on with the top 250 camp.
Okay.
So we do that.
Okay, cool.
Bring some special guests in and
Let's do it.
advertise all the football players out there.
That'd be nice. Well, man, look, let's make it a great one. A lot of stuff happened this past weekend, man. The playoffs in the state of Michigan. Exciting football from tops to bottom. And then we got our guy, man, one of our favorites, Nolan Givens from Utah Tech, is going to be joining us today on the show. And we look forward to talking to Nolan, man. Like I said, we've been knowing that kid for a while, man. And also we got our guy, Ali, going to be coming in from Michigan Exposure. He's going to be talking to us. And then we're going to get into. So let's start it off, man. Let's recap these playoffs.
Out in.
Ali, what up, man?
What's going on, man? Thank you guys for having me.
Man, it's all love, man. Glad to have you, man. How was your weekend?
Yeah, I was at Cass Tech versus Catholic Central yesterday. That was a crazy game. And then Friday I was just chilling. It was a little bit weird without having no games on Friday.
Right. Well, with that being said, man, let's give us your report on Cass versus CC.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think CC was the favorite coming in.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people didn't really see a way Cass can win, but the first play of the game, opening kickoff, Ellis Graham took it
To the
I think
house.
like 85 yards to the house, 87 yards.
Mm-hmm.
And when that happened, I was like, yeah, Cass might win because CC has been ahead or in a tight game the whole season. So I'm like, if Cass can get ahead, CC hasn't really been in that situation much.
Sure.
And then really Cass was stopping the run game. And that's what it was, a low scoring game, defensive game. And yeah, Ellis Graham for Cass had a good game. C.J. Sadler had a good game. Will Sykes, slot receiver, had a good game.
Mm-hmm.
Don, the QB, played good. And really the whole defense, the line played good. And then for CC, 21, Jaden Pyden, he was doing really good as usual.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And CC still played a great game, came down to the final play, and they blocked the kick to basically win the game.
Wow.
Well, I was right.
Yes, you were.
Well,
You were.
the matchup CC had, it was tough because they were just as big as CC. A little more tougher mentally. CC still played a great ass game. Python was the dude. I mean, he might be my player of the year because he done everything for those guys over at CC. Team sport, but he was the dude.
Mm-hmm.
And he played great that game. They made some calls. I thought they should have did something different, but they normally win off of that. They threw the ball more than norm, but it's Alex Graham. Alex Graham finally decided to be that guy who everybody thought he was. And he'd been injured for 3 years, and he's a dude now. And I know, don't get it twisted.
For sure.
If that kid can stay healthy, we're talking about, first and second round draft pick material.
Got the size, speed.
You know what I mean?
All the intangibles. Yeah.
You're only good as your availability. If you're not available, then you won't be a good. But he's a dude now. He blocked a field goal, and he ran a punt back, a kickoff back. Hey, man, he was dangerous. And I don't know what Sam Gash did. I mean, I wondered. I'd like to see the matchup, but he played well. You know, whoever played the young quarterback, he threw the ball to little Will, and trust me, it was a beautiful throw. So
The Don.
they're down, yeah,
The Don.
yep, Taborn,
The Don.
the second,
The
know.
Don. Yes.
So he was impressive. Shout outs to Cash Tack and Marvin Rush. I was kind of, rooting for Marvin. For sure, I wanted Marvin to win it. You know what I mean? I like CC team. I just don't like some of the coaches. But I love the team and the kids and the players.
You want to elaborate on that?
No, there's no need to,
Right.
But just Mike. Hey, and then what they don't know is CC. They may not like Rising Stars, but CC has 2 Rising Stars on their staff, and they pretty good. Ramon Taylor
Ray. Yes, sir.
and Mike Lewis.
Yes, sir.
So shout out to Mikey, and
Right.
Ramon, and good job. But Justin still did a good job. I can't take that away. He's
No
a
doubt.
good ass coach.
No doubt about it.
You know what I mean? But just could keep plugging. Now, my concern is, Al, how good are they going to be next year?
Well, honestly, I think they're gonna be pretty good. They only losing. They're losing the QB, but they got a really good QB as a backup. That's a 2027 right now. And then they're gonna lose Danilo. They're gonna lose the running back. Well, honestly, they have a lot of 20 like younger guys. Like Jack Jando will be back. Samson Gash will be back. Some guys in the I think in the secondary. But yeah, I think CC and Cass will both be very good next year.
I don't. It's hard to replace the dude, number 21, Python.
Yeah, that's gonna be probably their
It's gonna
biggest
be hard.
loss.
I mean, because he was impactful on both sides of the ball. He hit 2 weeks prior. He hit Josh Tate on the sideline. I thought he broke his face mask. You know what I mean? So I'm like, man, this dude is great. And he picked up the ball in the game this past weekend, right?
Yeah, the interception.
The kid is really good, and he's a hell of a baseball player. Shout out to him, man, and you keep grinding, man. And unfortunately, your senior career came to an ending, but your life is going to beginning. Football going to begin soon.
He's going to Army.
He's going to Army, and that might change because it depends on who takes an interest, because he is really good, man. And somebody out there, man, take a chance on this kid, because he's what we call the stud muffin. He's a stud muffin.
Yeah, and one thing I'll add too is I think CC not having a home field advantage with it being a semifinal game kind of hurt them, because last week, man, that home field advantage, like,
10,000.
you don't really talk about it in high school about home field advantage, but it actually played a huge part last week. This week it was a neutral game, so I think that played a little bit in Cass's favor.
Again, I picked CC.
I know you did.
I picked them because I thought, just the teams that they beat to get there, man. Amazing season. I mean, their road to the Ford Field was a tough one. I think we can all agree on that. The teams they played to get to that point, and I thought they was battle tested. I thought with the coaching staff they've got, shout out to my guy Ramon Taylor and Justin over there. And they proved that they can win the tight big games. But with that being said, I got to give it up to our guy, man, Donald Tabron II. We had him on the show, and I told him, I said, man, you go in and win that game against a team like CC. That stuff that's legends are made of, man. And they had another kid there a few years ago, Reg, that we all know. That was a freshman quarterback that won at Cass state championship.
J. Root
Campbell. And he's following in those footsteps, man. So, hey, that's the type of game I didn't want to root. I wasn't rooting against anyone, but I kind of went with my head on this one, and I was wrong. So, shout out to Cass. Shout out to Coach Rushing over there, man, and Corey Sadler. He did his thing as always. That rushing attack they got now. They got three. I mean, they got a nice stable running backs, man. They got the young kid over there. So Cass, man, again, they find a way. They find a way, guys. And all I can do is say, hey, much love to Cass and that alumni base they got. So see those guys at Ford Field, man.
Hi, how was the running backs, Ali? How did they play for Cass Tech?
Well, the freshman Julian Taylor, he been
Juju.
balling every single time.
Yeah.
Damari Hendricks had a big run for I think like 40 yards,
What's up, Cole?
and then yeah, they were just getting them small chunk plays that just kept them going. And one thing I'm gonna say, I'm gonna have to toot my own horn, but I had Cass winning it when
You
we
did.
did our
You
predictions. So,
did.
You did.
You
You
did.
really
so they
did,
one
man.
game away.
You did. You did. Got to give it to you. And like I said, man, these games are tough when you get to this point because we all know most of these kids, man, and some of the coaches. So, but hey, it's sports. Somebody got to win. Somebody got to lose. And again, shout out to Cass Tech, man.
And shout out to CC, what a great ass
For
season.
sure.
And
For sure.
tough. And Jack Jander's going to be that guy next year. And the Gash boys out there, man. So who knows who's going to get next year? You might get another top prospect to help.
I think they will, Red.
Oh, I know they will.
think with what CC, man, and I don't know last time you guys been out there to their facilities, but man, they building some amazing stuff out there, man. And
No doubt.
you know what Justin is doing, and you got Ray on the staff. I know they're gonna go out and get some kids, so it's probably gonna be an interesting situation over the next few years over there.
So, Ali, Cass Tech plays
Hudsonville.
Hudsonville.
Let's go into it. Yep.
What's your thoughts?
Man, honestly, I would say Hudsonville being on the west side, I don't think, a lot of people have seen them, including me. But I
Right.
will say though, Hudsonville is really, really good. Like the way they're beating teams, the score that they're beating teams by,
hmm
it's not gonna be a walkover game. They blew out Howell. Howell, they beat Belleville, so they just beat Rochester Adams. So I think that's gonna be a big game. But honestly, I think Cass, they just got the momentum right now. I think
hmm
it's just too tough to beat because they don't really have a weakness. It's just the QB is young, so if he plays how he played, they're
Right.
gonna win. If he has an off game, then they're probably gonna lose. But they don't really have a position as weak.
Yeah, I think Reg, I got to go with Cass at this point. And I think that's pretty easy to say. Like Ali said, I don't know too much about Hudsonville. I'm sure to get to this point, no matter where they're at, what side of the state, I'm sure they're doing their thing, and they probably gonna give Cass a good game. But for Cass to get here and beat a tough CC team, how can you root against them at this point?
Well,
Well, not
This-
root or pick against them. Let's put it that way.
this game here is predicated on one Donovan
Tayron.
what he has to do. He can change his career. He can change the narrative for Cass Tech for the next 2 or 3 years.
No doubt.
Because Cass Tech are probably not going to run on Hudsonville. Hudsonville defense is solid for stopping the run. But Hudsonville has not seen big time athletes like Cass Tech has outside.
Corey.
Alex Graham, Will. They have not seen those guys. So this game, Donald Tabor in the second, is based on what you do. I'm putting the pressure on it. But if we want to be those dudes and them guys, you must roll the ball. You're going to have to do it.
And that's interesting, Reds, because Cass got corners too. I mean, you got
Well, their
CJ.
defense, but see, I'm talking about Hudsonville's defense is solid. That's their strength.
Yeah.
And they run out, if I'm correct, they run a ring T.
Wing T offense.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
Which is always can be kind of hard, if you haven't seen it a lot.
But
Yeah.
see, the thing about it is that Cass Tech is just as big as Hudsonville up front.
Right.
So I'm telling you, this young quarterback,
Wow.
if he plays his game, he'd be because Jay Rule was the first freshman to win a state championship.
Yeah.
So Tabron can be that next one.
Yeah. Yeah. And the kid, man, I mean, let's call it what it is. Young man is smart. He's articulate. Good kid. Parents are doing a great job. I loved having him on the show, man. And just what he's doing is phenomenal, man. I mean, He said like every time I see him, he's growing another 2 feet. So before he leaves, and you know, Cass, they're gonna get some of the top kids
Oh, no
middle
doubt.
school,
No doubt.
and they're gonna keep continuing doing what they're doing, man. And this could go on for another 3 years, quite honestly, with Cass.
Well, it's going to be interesting. Let's see what happened. And I'm picking Cats Tech, but my baby over there, Ethan Carter, been playing very, 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 very well.
Coach C,
You know,
which is like say, I'm sorry, Reds, but Coach C, the receiver coach, one of our guys, Trey John C, says Hudsonville only lost to Howell week 1 by 3.
Yeah, and they ended up rematching Howell and blew him out.
Blew 'em out, yes.
playoffs.
Interesting. Thanks, Trey. Nephew. Yep. That says something because Howell, we know what they did with Belleville, so that's gonna be interesting, man.
Man, too hard, bad.
I mean, I think the point is when you get to this part of the season, you know, it's no. I guess I'm saying you just can't say it's just 100% that somebody's going to win. You get there for a reason. I don't see anybody just getting blown out from what I've seen. So to Trey's point, they're there for a reason. And Red, you even said they got the size, so that's going to be interesting. Hey Trey, you can call in, man. 248-905-1128, man. Call on in, and anybody else out there, we got the phone lines open. We would love to hear you guys' opinion, man. I know Trey number. We're gonna talk about St. Mary's shortly. I know they probably looking at film, just getting through with a workout from earlier, but so yeah, you guys call in, man. Call in. We'll take it easy on you. So
One more player I'm gonna give a shout out to from Cass Tech is 2026 DB nickel Marcus Jennings.
okay.
He's probably honestly he might be the best special teams player in the state. He makes a kickoff tackle every play.
Wow.
And he was honestly probably the unsung hero. He forced a fumble, was making a lot of big hits, and this is like week in, week out in the playoffs. He's just making plays, making tackles, and he's a kid that has a few offers. A lot of people don't really know his name yet because he still is a junior. But yeah, he's an unsung hero for Cass.
So he's one we need to watch.
Yeah,
That's what I said, man. They got some guys, man, especially the young kids, man. Not to belittle the point, but they've got some young cats coming through there. I know Juju personally and his dad, and man, every time I see him, he's getting taller, and that's probably gonna be a great game. So definitely look forward to seeing that. So let's do this. Let's go into. Let's do Harper Woods and Goodrich, guys. Let's go to Harper Woods. Our guy, Coach Rod Oden over there, and they took the L against Goodrich, man, and I think we all three of us picked
yeah, we picked Harper Woods.
Harper Woods. So, Ali, give us your thoughts, man.
Man, honestly, like you said, I think that one caught all of us by surprise. I think D4 as a whole caught everybody by surprise because the other side, Niles beat South Christian 62-30. And I think this is Niles' first time ever making a state championship game. And then Harper Woods was probably everybody's favorite. So I think that whole division caught everybody by surprise. And yeah, I mean, Goodrich, they're a great team. And they beat Harper Woods pretty good. They held the Harper Woods offense to only 14 with all those the
Weapons.
QB and the receivers, the running backs, everything.
That's amazing. Amazing. I'll chime in, Reg. You come on and tell me after this. I think I said it today on Facebook. I said Goodrich showed me after this that we can't continue to overlook those guys because they've been playing decent for the last few years and to beat a perennial favorite in Harper Woods with a guy Dakota over there, the GOAT, and the quarterback over there with Coach Rod and just the weapons they got, man. There's no way I've seen that happening. So I'm gonna want to definitely go back and look at the film and take a closer look at that. And we know Harper Woods, you know, they're going to continue, especially with Dakota there and the kids that's gonna probably want to go over and play with Coach Rod. So That cut us all by surprise.
The hell
Go
is
ahead,
a,
Rich.
What's the hell is a Dakota? A Dakota.
Dakota.
I'm an Oldham fan, man, and how they do things. They do good things over there. And unfortunately, they lost. And understand mistakes early and got behind with 20-some points. And they kept fighting. But they'll be back.
Yeah.
80 to 90% of their team is coming back. We don't know what we're going to pick up in free agent,
Right.
but they'll be back. And Oldham is one of the best coaches in the state of Michigan and probably a better person.
Sure.
So I'm rooting for him. Nate, you know what you got to do. I'm counting on you. All right? So we got to eat more chicken, and you got to get ready, and you got to be ready to take this team to the next level.
Yeah.
You can do it.
Yeah.
So unfortunate that happened, but they'll be back.
Hey, they got that 5-star Dakota. Good run.
Oh, my God. That's a good one.
And I know I'm being funny, but in all
Yeah.
seriousness, the kid is tough, man. And I know when the quarterback went down, he filled in
Yeah.
admirably, and they just couldn't get it done. So let's move on, man. Let's move on.
Yeah, go to St. Mary's and Birmingham Groves. Shout out.
Shout out. I think we all picked St. Mary.
Yeah, we did.
We all picked. What's your thoughts, Al?
Honestly, that was probably the game of the week. It went to overtime, a 1-point win. And honestly, I seen Bryson Williams had a great game. He honestly is probably, I'd say, probably top 3, top 4 for Mr. Football.
Yes, he is. Yes,
But
he is.
yeah, he took that game over. Groves, I think Noah Sanders had either 2 or 3 touchdowns. He was doing pretty good.
Yep.
Chris Little has been having an amazing season.
Bro.
But yeah, St. Mary's, they pulled through. We talked about it. St. Mary's has been right there. They just needed that little, whenever it was a 50-50 game, they needed it to go their way, and it finally went their way when it mattered most.
True. Let me say this. I was at the game. I said in the last show that it was going to come down to coaching. Little did I know that Coach Flaherty at Groves looked like he left the coaching guide at home, man. Reg and Al.
Yeah.
He left, and I'll get into specifics. We go into overtime. Well, no, before overtime, St. Mary's, we was forced to punt the ball like at the 1-yard line. And we get the ball to Groves probably like at our 40. And they feed, it's a minute left in the game, guys. They feed Noah Sanders, who Ali said, I think he's very underrated, guys. I think he's gonna be a real good one at Toledo. I think they got a steal, just my opinion. And next thing you know, we get down. Well, now Groves gets down to about the 30-yard line. 9 seconds left on the clock. On third down, guys. Let me see what he says. Real playoffs. Yes, I agree. Trey. He says the real playoffs for St. Mary's start Saturday. Good point. But I will disagree. And I get what he's saying. You know, he's playing for all the marbles. But this game here, I got a new respect for other coaches. You know, and I've been saying all year that they just couldn't seem to get over the big one. And they proved it. Because I thought Groves was going to give them a hell of a ride, which they did. But Flaherty shot himself in the behind, man. Third down, guys, 9 seconds. They run a running play with no timeouts. A running play.
Wow.
It goes to fourth down. I mean, try to get to fourth down, the clock runs out. Instead of spiking the ball with third down, guys, with 9 seconds, they run a running play.
Oh, wow.
9 seconds. Overtime. All right? And I'm just describing this for people that didn't, hear or see what happened. So anyway, we go into overtime. St. Mary's wins the toss. And we decline to give them the ball on offense. Sure enough, Noah Sanders scores, does his thing. What do you guys think happened? They went for 2.
Oh, wow.
They went for 2 instead of kicking it
Tying the game up
Tying the
another
game
time.
up.
I think that's the right call though in that
No,
decision because
no. I'm gonna tell you
because
why.
if St. Mary's scores, they're probably if they kick the extra point, St. Mary's will go for two.
No, I disagree with that. And
I
we
would-
can get Coach Gonzalez on here and Trey. Maybe now Trey's on here. Maybe he can tell us.
I would have went for the field goal and stayed
Yes.
out to another quarter.
Yes, because here's the thing, Ali, and people out there. Once you miss that 2-point conversion,
The game's
all
almost
same,
over.
the game is over. We're going to score. Bryson Williams scores. We're going to hit the extra point, and that kid is a freshman. Ball game. Ball game. So again, I've been on record. Flaherty has been a head coach for many years. He's got the resume as far as doing his thing, but he could never get over the hump. Here it is, Jermaine's third year, brought in some new guys from Stony Creek. Hey, they delivered, bro. So one thing about me, I'm gonna own up. I've been on them guys all year, and they came through. I don't think we had one penalty, guys, the whole game.
Wow.
Now, Trey, if you're still listening, you can correct me if I'm wrong. We didn't have one penalty, Reg. So, hey, man, shout out to the crew. We're going to Ford Field, baby, and they proved they could win the big one. So,
I'm going to say this, and you know what I said, and I said this before, and I told you guys when they lost to De La Salle,
sure.
CC, this is a team that nobody wants to play.
You said it.
And Coach Flaherty did a great job when my son was there.
Sure. And before you say that, James Blakenberg, he said, I'm pretty sure he's talking about Groves. He said they made a few questionable decisions. Hey, I think that's an understatement, fam. But go ahead, Reg.
So St. Mary's have guys on the sideline that stud muffins, and they're going to get better by the year. Just want to capitalize on what they did this year. And the thing about St. Mary's, they were battle tested the whole season.
Good point.
You know what I mean?
Good point.
Groves played a few player teams, and Groves haven't seen those type of athletes. Yes, they did. They saw them at West Bloomfield. But we want to make sure that we go on record. Booby Wynn said, you do not want to play
said
St.
it.
Mary's.
You said it.
And now,
And Gonzalez said in an interview, I looked at a post interview, and to his credit, he said something along the lines of, that they came up short against a lot of good teams, which they did.
yeah, make mistakes.
And it probably made them better for it in retrospect,
That's correct.
and they're peaking at the wrong. I was just concerned that we played a few cupcakes in the playoffs leading up to this. I mean, it wasn't no competition. And to go into that and then go play a team like Groves, I was concerned.
Yeah.
But, we got the athletes, man. Go ahead, Reg. Go ahead.
You just just work on this next game because you got a big ass game next week in the championship. We probably all be there.
Yeah.
They play Byron Center.
Yep.
Right. And Isaac Lee has been the dude, like Bryson Williams has been the dude for St. Mary's.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys are going to have your work cut off. And that coach is just as good as Flaherty out there in Byron
Really?
City.
Okay.
Now, me and Al was talking about, have they seen the talent that St. Mary's bringing to them? Yes, they have. They played Muskegon Mount Shores.
Okay.
If I'm correct, they played Muskegon.
Okay.
But they have seen that talent. But Isaac Lee, if you don't know him, I've been talking about this kid since I've been on this podcast. He is special.
Sure.
3.9 GPA. Just got another Ivy League offer. Somebody from the Power 4 or Group of 4 is going to offer this kid. So we got a big game this weekend. St. Mary practiced an extra hour in the practice field, and then just make it happen. You know what I mean? So I'm looking forward to seeing this game. What you think, Big Al?
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, honestly, this is probably, and as far as playoff wise, it's probably the hardest team I think that St. Mary's will see. Byron Center is really, really, really good. Isaac Lee is the big name, but they have a lot of guys. The running back been playing good, the QB been playing good, and a lot of these guys are seniors. So, they have the experience, and this means a lot to them. But I mean, as far as prediction, I think St. Mary's will win.
Mhm.
I think St. Mary's has too many athletes, but like Reggie said, they have seen teams with players like that. They played Mona Shores, Muskegon. They played Mona Shores twice, and they played East Kentwood, and I think they might have played Rockford. I'm not sure, but they did play a tough
Lee
schedule.
Rockford. Yeah, it did.
Wow. Well, Trey John C., wide receiver coach at St. Mary's, he just said, of course, I'm still here. I think that's a plug at me. Needed to make sure we got some love this week. Ha, ha, ha. No, fam, that's every week. I think the hardest thing about doing something like this, Reg, is when you're closely involved in the program. You know, it's when you call it like you see it, you're going to, it is what it is. I've never picked against St. Mary's, but I have questioned a few different things as far as
You thought about
coaching.
it.
No, never, no. I just thought the biggest question again, and not to beleaguer the point. To me, it came down to coaching. With Jermaine being a third-year coach, new staff coming in, Flaherty, what they've done with that team they got, I was worried.
Well,
I did pick St. Mary's, but look, guess what? Groves dropped the ball.
yeah.
They dropped the ball. Let's call it like we want to call it now. We won the game, but Groves definitely gave us some few more opportunities than they should have. So not to take anything away from the Red, because we riding, and just I'll say this. I think I looked at the film of Byron's center, man. I don't think they got a hell and a chance to beat St. Mary's.
Okay.
I'm just being honest, guys. I look at the
You
size of the kids.
You got to.
No. I call it like I said. One thing y'all know, I keep it 100, bro. Shit, I don't care who watching. I keep it 100.
Yeah.
And
like
if
that.
I thought that, I would say, hey, man. But Byron, I don't think they've got a shot against St. Mary's. I really don't. Not based on what I've seen. Now, again, we talked about when you get to this point, everybody deserved to get here. St. Mary's just can't come in and take the day off now. They got to come in and do their thing, which I think they will. So I'm going with the kids at Orchard Lake, baby.
I'm taking St. Mary as well. I'm going with St. Mary. I'm going Jermaine. Jermaine went through a lot.
Yes.
Last year was a shit show, and Jermaine changed that narrative and did some great things. And a lot of people questioned Jermaine about decision making with
True.
it's going to moving, rotating each quarterback. It worked. So, like I say, Jermaine, they can kiss your ass right now because the fact it worked and you got to your destination. You deserve it, man. I'm proud of you. You go ahead and win this championship, man, and that put the icing on the cake and a couple candles.
I got to interject what you just said. I don't
Okay.
think a lot of people are questioning the quarterback. I think people were saying, in fairness, that you had a senior quarterback and who showed he played very well this year. And when you're going back and forth, it sometimes it can work against you in the development of your senior who's been playing well. No knock on Jabin because he's definitely the future of the program at QB. He's a sophomore. So I think most of what people were hearing, selective hearing out here, is let this kid roll, man. Now, unfortunately for Jabin, he didn't get to play this last game because he was hurt, and Axel got the full run, man. And but it all worked out to your point. Jermaine has shown that he could right the ship.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people thought he was on the hot seat, just being honest.
No, they did.
Yeah, and I'm not saying that nobody knows. So, but he proved he put it together. He got some new guys coming there, man, and they turned the shit around. And let me just say this about St. Mary's too, Bryson Williams, man, he's got to be considered. He's got to be considered, bro.
Oh yes, he
He's
is.
for probably Player of the Year because what he does, Reg and Ali, man, whether it's at running back, whether it's at receiver, that kid is balling, man. He really is. And,
He's doing a great ass job.
yeah.
And then again, offensive coordinator from St. Mary's has changed
Merla.
everything
Mm-hmm.
because you got to know how to use your players.
Mm-hmm.
You have to understand your players' ability.
Mm-hmm.
It ain't a fade ball every damn time.
True. That's true.
So shout out to Merlot. I know him from Stony Creek.
I do too.
He always been a good coach. He did
Good
some
guy.
good shit. He beat the snot out of Southfield.
Sure.
Rushed for probably about 500 yards in Southfield.
And look, Reg, and I'm glad we're having this dialogue because when he first came in and the hire, and if Merlot's watching, I would be the first to say I was shocked because what they had, I covered Stony Creek. What they had over the Reg, they ran the ball 99.99999 of the time, and maybe it's because of personnel. And I was shocked that they brought them there with the athletes we got. Now, to your point, do we throw the ball all over the field? No, we don't. I think we could utilize a few more of our athletes, but they got to this point. Who are we to second guess? They're there. I think we're all rooting for them, and I think our heads tell us that they're going to win. So I just wanted to just say.
I mean, you
clarify.
should have. I mean, last year was a shit show.
Different year, yes.
It's a different year.
Yes.
So, hey, Coach of the Year, shout out to Jermaine Gonzalez. Period.
Hey, salute.
All right. You good?
Yeah, I'm good. I honestly agree with what you said about the offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
Everybody knew Stony Creek as just a run the ball team, and you're like, you
Yes.
hire an offensive coordinator, you got all these receivers. But honestly, I think, he turned that down. I mean, he like shut that down, but because they're passing the ball pretty well, in my opinion. So he's been doing a good job as the OC.
Yeah, they did a great job, man, and I think more so than just turning the offense around, they kind of changed just the culture. You know what I mean? The culture. This year we seemed a little bit more serious. The kids seemed a little bit more focused, and that definitely is attributed to coaching James and Jermaine and Merlot and Trey and all those guys, man. So big ups to them. And like I said, we have Ford Field, and I believe we're gonna bring the trophy home next Friday night.
I will be there.
Yes,
Drinking
sir.
some Gatorade, so I will be there.
Yes, sir.
So I got a question for you. Mm-hmm. Harper Woods and Goodrich. I'm trying to identify. It's a receiver at a Goodrich. It's a pretty good guy, a good player. Who is that?
His name is Max. I think his last name is like Macklin or something like that. But his first name is Max. He's committed to Central Michigan.
Central Michigan, about 6'3".
DB.
Wow.
I think he's about 6 foot.
Yeah, 6 foot. The receiver and DB. Okay.
And Goodrich played St. Mary's. I think we played them.
No, not this
a couple
year.
years, not this year, but a couple
years.
years.
I went down. Yeah, the playoff, right?
Yeah. And they beat us. And Trey, again, whoever's listening for St. Mary's, you can correct us on that. But I think we lost to Goodrich, man. If I remember correctly, we were in a different division and we went up this year. Yes.
But let's move on to the next
Yes.
game because we didn't give somebody a shout out.
Sure.
TP, baby.
TP, Detroit King.
Detroit King. And that's amazing how you continue winning with a change of head coaches
I said it earlier.
in one season. TP, I told this to TP a couple years ago, and people still don't give this guy credit, and he probably wouldn't take it anyway. And Dante Moore, you're my baby, but shit, you couldn't be my baby, or like you couldn't be that guy without TP. And I always say this, your quarterback is good as your offensive coordinator. And we can talk about this all day because you can go back and remember Goff, how he was before Johnson got there. Goff was blah, 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 right? But now Johnson there, Goff is the MVP of the NFL currently.
Currently, I agree.
You know what I mean? So you are good as your OC and just as well as your head coach. So I'm rooting for King to
TP.
go out here and win and make it shit happen for the city. Because TP, good job. Your staff, good job. Flimster, good job. Bang, bang. You know what I mean? So I'm proud of King. So
I just want to chime in before you come in, Allie. I second those sentiments. TP, man, even though he was the offensive coordinator, it was almost like he was, second in charge, associate head coach, however you want to term it. Just he gets it done, man. King gets it done. And I put some on Facebook again talking about, with their coach moving on the west side of the state and then TP taking over, man. And you guys probably know more than I know, but I don't hear the King names like you've heard in the past as far as the players. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like we talk about Cass, we talk about St. Mary's and some of others team. but you don't hear people talking about the King kids and those names. So what
They there, but you don't
but
hear.
you know what I'm trying to
You
say.
don't get the love of getting
The names
T.J.
like
Sadler.
yeah.
But normally
Yeah.
Dante Moore was there, and then
Yeah.
move on. It's quite a few or more.
Yeah.
Donnie Corley, so they don't
Yeah.
have that guy yet.
Yeah, but it's like what he's doing over there, man, is amazing, man. And that's one of our favorite guys. So shout out to King, man. I definitely picking them in the finals at Ford Field. So we expect for them to bring the trophy home too. I think I can speak for everybody. Allie, go ahead.
Yeah, I'll say because we were talking about Goodrich the game before. Goodrich lost to Harper Woods last year, so that was kind of a revenge game. King lost to Mason last year, and they
Mm-hmm.
just beat Mason.
Mm-hmm.
So it feels bad when you lose. So I think that was extra motivation to get back on the team that beat you.
Yeah.
Then I would say shout out to two specific players. Well, three. The
Mm-hmm.
running back Michael Dukes, he's a junior. He's been playing really good
Dude,
this whole
yeah.
season. And then they got a senior, number 9. I don't think he has any offers. His name is John Allen,
Mm-hmm.
receiver in DV. He had 2 touchdowns. He's been playing great this whole season.
Mm-hmm.
Even the first time they beat Cass Tech, I was there. He basically made the game-winning pass deflection to win the game.
Sure.
He's been playing really good. And then, like you guys said, shout out to TP because a lot of people I think expected a drop off or something like that, but he hasn't dropped off. And then also shout out to the PSL. They're gonna have 2 teams representing in the state championship. A lot of people hate on that conference.
Well, good job, Vidi. Good job out there.
No doubt. No doubt. I like I said before, man, when you look at King and Cass, it's almost looking up at the sky, man. At some point, it's blue. And those guys always find a way to get there. So looking forward to seeing them. Jimmy Macon. Sorry, what's up, Coach? He said the Detroit Public League School representing. Yes,
sir.
you guys are, man.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
you guys are. So shout out to you guys, man.
But shout out to my baby out there, Mason Coswell, quarterback.
Sure.
I'm so proud of baby. He ended up being MVP of our program in the summer. Was my top quarterback. Won some tournaments for us, and grew up this summer.
Yeah.
And played well, and it showed his mental growth this season with that young ass team in Mason.
Mm-hmm.
And he was talking about trying to figure out how to win.
Right.
And the best way to figure that out is stay and change the narrative with your older guys, and you did that, baby.
No doubt about it.
So I'm proud of you. You've been an outstanding guy. You're one of my players of the year because you won with young babies, and you believe. So Shaggy, that's a good job,
Right.
and I'm proud of you, baby. Good job, baby.
There it is.
Yeah, he's honestly a program changer. Mason's been a threat these past 3 years. A lot of people didn't even know what Mason was 5-10 years ago.
Jason.
And yeah, he's a big part, multiple year starter. So yeah, shout out to Case and Carswell.
Okay, guys, let's do this. We're going to bring in our guest in 1 second, Mr. Nolan Gibbons from Utah Tech. Well, let's talk about Player of the Year.
Player of the year.
Drum roll, please. Who want to go first?
But honestly, I think for me right now, I would honestly say Alex Graham because in my opinion,
Hmm.
I mean, you look at the last three
Three games.
player of the years. It's usually a guy that made it to the state championship. There's a lot of guys that deserve it,
Mm-hmm.
but if their team fell short, then it's almost like to me, I feel like it's almost like they've been eliminated. But I'd say there's probably 5 guys that can all make a name for why they should get it. But
Yeah.
I mean, Alex Graham is doing it on all 3 phases: offense, defense, special teams. So I'd say honestly, it's probably him. Say Bryson Williams at Orchard Lake is another guy.
Mm-hmm.
Isaac Lee at Byron Center is another guy. Trying to think. I like the Larner twins at DeWitt. They fell short. Jace Clarizio, his team fell short. Jaden Pyden, they fell short. So yeah, I mean, I might be forgetting somebody, but
Bryce. Did you say Bryce?
Yeah, he did.
yeah,
Yeah.
Bryce they fell short, but those are the names that I think. And like I said, I might be forgetting somebody.
Well, I'm gonna say the best for last for Red. So let me go ahead and chime in. Um, at first, I had Bryce, man. I mean, can't take nothing away from the young man. Uh, I just honestly think, guys, I think when the money start coming in, not saying it affected his performance, but that's a that's a that's a lot of pressure too to perform up to those standards, man. When you got $10 million on the table, and not saying that that affected the team or any way or what have you, but just something to think about. Um, so I think I'm gonna have to go jump. I said his name earlier. I don't want to be considered a homer. And then someone said, about the love. So I'm gonna give my team the love. I'm gonna go with Bryson Williams. That Bryson, man, every game on limited touches, guys. I want you guys to think about this. He doesn't get the ball like, say, the kid at CC a lot. If he was in another offense, man, he probably would touch the ball 10, 15 times. So he does a lot. He makes a lot of plays on limited touches. And when I look at play of the year, I look at the impact. What would happen if we took that guy off our team? And he's the type of guy you can throw the ball up. He's going to go get that thing. You can put him in the backfield. You can put him at quarterback, let him run the Wildcat. He's just a phenomenal player, man. He got the size. I was trying to figure out what he should play in college, but I'm going with the home team, man. I'm going with Mr. Bryson Williams for my player of the year.
Now, you don't have to be in the playoff to get
No doubt.
player of the year.
No doubt.
I'm going with the young fella out at CC. That's Python. Now, I'm saying this because you remove him from CC team, there's no offense but Gash and Skyler, but they got to throw the ball to him. This Python guy has been the man on both sides of the ball.
I agree.
And you said it. If you take this guy off the team, will CC win? They might win, but not like they're winning now convincingly, right?
Because he plays on both
He
sides.
played
of the
both
ball.
sides, and he's freaking dominated.
True.
He's dominating both sides of the ball. Again, that's kudos to their coach, their coaches, but that kid can play.
Yeah.
And it took me a minute. I didn't know.
Yeah.
I seen him. I watched him last year because he played quarterback, and they made a great decision when they switched Bo when he was there to move him in because they didn't have receivers then because Gash is hurt. So it shows this kid is my player of the year.
Good pick.
So
Solid pick.
unfortunately, they didn't make it to the championship. I'd have probably been truly right when they got to the championship, but I'm rolling with him.
Right. Ollie.
Yeah, so honestly, like who I said, I think I'm gonna go with Ellis Graham because he's doing it on all three phases.
True.
I mean, I don't know. He had a punt return touchdown the first week of the playoffs. He had a punt return touchdown the second week of the playoffs. He had a kick return touchdown last week. I mean, not last week, yesterday. He's doing it on offense. He was probably their leading receiver this past game, and he's doing it on defense. So he's Mr. Do It All, and Cass Tech is rolling. So I think I'm gonna go with Alex Graham.
Okay, I like that.
I think that's a great pick. And our guy, Jay Bill from Brother Rice, he just agreed with you with Alex Graham. Great player. But like I said, it seemed like he just kind of came on the last couple games, 3 games. Obviously, he came in from Sample Banner, call us on the sideline. He came back from IMG from last year, him and our guy. So, great player, man. I can't take nothing away from the kid, man.
I'll say he came on the second time they played King
Yeah.
because he went off that game when they played
He was
King.
hurt, right? Was he? He's been, Red, you said he's been hurt.
Been hurt
Well, he was hurt last year. I think this year he's been healthy majority of the season. He might have missed a game in the middle of the season, but yeah, he's been pretty healthy majority of the season. But yeah, I say it really took off for him when they played King, and then he's also been balling like week in week out. But when they play some of the smaller schools, people don't pay attention to that. And then they played a few Ohio teams, so that was out of state, so people didn't really see what was going, like what he was doing.
Mm-hmm. Jay Bill says Alex blocked the field goal attempt yesterday as well.
Yeah,
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 yeah.
he liked the field goal.
No, he
Yeah,
had a great game, man, and you can't take nothing away from that young man. But my question is, if you do take Alex from Cass Tech, can they still win games?
I don't think they would have beat CC without Alex
No,
Graham.
No,
no,
not
no.
probably not. Yeah,
Yeah,
to your point. To your point. To your point.
yeah,
But I'm just saying overall. Not hey, love Alex. I know a guy Berkeley Edwards trains him. But see, Cass Tech got weapons, man. I mean,
yeah.
they got weapons. So
They will most definitely win without him
yeah,
because they have a loaded.
that's what I was trying to
Loaded.
say.
Now,
Yeah,
Alex Graham is who we thought he was,
no doubt.
and he did his
This thing.
thing.
Yeah,
I was gonna say shit, but but he did his thing. So shout out to Alex. We knew he was good.
mm-hmm.
Stan Edwards always talked about him, how great he
Sure,
is,
sure,
and the work ethics, whatever he got, his stud muffin. He's good.
no doubt.
And let's see him in this amazing blue and gold, right? Black, neon, yellow. Shit.
Oh, so Colorado, that's done, huh?
Nah, he's going to Michigan.
You going to
This is
Michigan?
my opinion.
Okay, that's a different topic for another day. But with
I just had
Bryce,
to throw that
with
curveball
Bryce
in there.
flipping and your guy Dotson
Elijah
flipping,
Dawson.
and now Graham, wee, that could get interesting.
So,
Well, look, without all that being said, guys, we got our
Nolan.
Nolan, Mr. Nolan Givens, Utah Tech assistant coach. Nolan, what's good, big dog?
What's going on? You guys can hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Good.
How you doing, big fella?
I'm great. How are
Good.
you guys doing?
We good, man. Thanks for hanging out. I know you was listening and what we're doing, and I'm sure that bring back a lot of memories for you when you were here.
Yeah, man.
State of Michigan, man, doing your thing before you went on to, be a college coach and do all those things, man. I'm gonna let Rez chop it up with you.
Hey,
So,
this is my guy, man. Hey, so I'm gonna tell you a quick story. Nolan comes out playing wide receiver, and he's catching the ball.
Mm-hmm.
I said, "Man, you're gonna have to play tight end or linebacker." He said, "I ain't never blocked." I ain't never blocked. I said, well, you about to try this shit today, So he gets down to tackle, get down in 3-point stand, and he was phenomenal.
Right.
I'm sitting here like, oh shit, this kid is good. Even I even said he's gonna play Power 5 football if he play linebacker.
Oh yeah.
Coach, I ain't playing no linebacker. True story.
Oh man, that's not
He
good.
beat Southfield by himself. Linebacker.
Unbelievable.
Interception, sack. He did everything at
Did it all.
linebacker.
At linebacker.
So I called him next day. Better get your LB hat on, baby, because you about to play linebacker, man.
Yeah.
That's our guy.
And he goes over to Ball State, man, and have a phenomenal career. Dominated
Unbelievable.
at tight end, and then he played at Southern University.
Yep.
Is it Southern University? Utah.
Southeastern.
Southeastern, Louisiana. And he went over there, man, and balled out, man. My baby's got his master's, man. He just got engaged, man. It's his second coaching job, man. There's more to come. I'm really, really, really proud of this dude, man.
No doubt. And look,
Appreciate you.
hey, Nolan, what's your guy name, man? Man, he was Nolan's. One of your biggest supporters, bro. What's his name? Oh my God,
I don't know.
he's the athletic director at Harper Woods now.
Oh, it's
Oh,
Kier.
Key.
Yeah,
Kier Galt.
Key.
That's my
Man,
guy.
hey, I used to go see him practice, man. 707 and all that, man.
Yeah.
Man, he loved you, bro.
Shout out Coach Key. That's my guy right there.
Hey,
He
man.
brought me here, man.
He did. Coach Key, bagel
He
head.
put me
man.
on. He put me on with Reg and everything. That
Yes.
was
Yes,
all credit
man.
to him.
And I just want to chime in, Nolan, because obviously I've been knowing you too, man, and
Yeah.
see where you went to, from where you
Right.
started to where you went,
Yeah.
and you wasn't a 5-star and anything like that, but you worked your ass off to get where you are, man.
Sure.
And
I
you got a
appreciate
chance to, no doubt, you got a chance to, get a look at the NFL, man. Not too many people can say that. And I say that all the time. It's easy, man, when you the 5 star and everybody knows you and loves you, but to come from the dirt and did it the way you did, man. I know
Yeah.
your mom is a huge supporter, man. Every time you
Mhm.
see you, you seen her.
Right.
And just to see, man, you are an inspiration. Real
I
talk. Because
appreciate
you're a
that.
humble kid. I want to call you
Yeah.
a kid, but
Right.
you're a young man.
No, you know me for a while,
I've
so
been knowing
yeah,
you
I
for a
get it.
while, and
Yeah.
just as I love those type of stories, Red, to see somebody where they started wasn't here on top, but he grinded, man, grinded to get where
Yeah.
he's at now, and now he's coaching other kids, man.
And what they don't know, that
Amazing.
Noah played on the Detroit Lions.
That's what I'm saying. That's my point, man, and that's why it's such a good story. Nolan, talk a little bit about that, man, if you would, man. Talk a little bit about how
What's your
you,
process?
yeah, the process, man, for you, man.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't easy, right? Like, I was always athletic growing up and all that stuff, but I grew up in a suburb of Detroit, so
Mhm.
there wasn't like the
Berkeley.
most, insane athletes, right? So I'm doing my thing and all that stuff, and it's good, but I didn't really realize, I guess, how good I could become at the sport until I started getting around guys that were, doing that on a consistent basis, the grind on the weekends, the 7-on-7 stuff. And, it was challenging because it was the first time, like when I started working out with Reggie, like there's real deal guys there, like guys that are 4 stars, guys that are going to these P4 schools or P5 at the time. And, it was a struggle because I was uncomfortable in the situation, and it kind of sucked at times, but I just trusted in the process and understanding what the growth could look like, and it was a ton of motivation from Reg and from my guy Key and my mom, and just it's a nonstop grind. You can't like pump the brakes really. You can't lose a day, and I went through times where I really didn't want to go do it, but I did, and it's just it made me mentally tougher. And it comes down to hard work, and I got better. I got so much better going against competition at Rising Stars and just going to camps and doing all that stuff. And
Mhm.
I mean, like the trajectory just really, it changed for me. But I stayed humble and I got a little bit of praise, and, I did some good things. I had a really good high school career, and it paid off. But it was challenging, and I'm appreciative of it. If it was easy, I wouldn't be the same guy as I am, right now. So, um, it's just a lot of hard work, and the work doesn't stop for me now. It's just a different type of grind. You know what I mean?
And to talk about after college, go into that a little
Yeah,
bit for us.
yeah.
When you
And
after, yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
going to the league, you mean?
Yeah, going to the league. Yep.
Yeah. My career was in college. It started off strong, and then we didn't perform well. So like I had those dreams, and I thought it could maybe be possible. So as I entered my senior year, I really needed to find a spot that could set me up because I knew I had the tools to have an opportunity. And I think what was unique about my skill set was that I was so interchangeable. Like I was like a Swiss Army knife. I could go on special teams. I could cover kicks. I could block for kicks. I could hold guys up. When it came to the offensive game, which is what I love. I love catching the ball and scoring touchdowns. So I had great feet. I had great hands. I was able to use my size really well, and I was a really good blocker. And that was something that I didn't, as Reggie was saying, like at first,
Mhm.
I didn't know what it really took,
Right.
and then I figured it out. And my senior year, I really put it together. So, it was just trying to figure out if it was a realistic opportunity for me. And that when my senior year ended, I ended up talking to a few agents, and they're saying, you can have a legitimate shot. We got to get you some workouts. You got to have a great pro day. Like there are some things that are going to hold you back from, being a draftable player.
Mhm.
And I never really thought that I was going to be draft worthy until I really kind of had a great senior year. So there was some chance of it. Ultimately I ended up going unsigned as a free agent,
Wow.
priority guy after the 7th round ended. Stressful, just the work that you put in, man. Like if you want me to go into the whole process, like it's a lot, man. When that last snap happens in college, like
Mm.
you got to break, you got to reset, and then get ready to grind again because you got to go out there and put a show on for all these scouts and stuff like that. So, it was a grind again. It's just another time where you feel like you kind of have some doubters, right? You got people that are not necessarily rooting against you, but there's a lot more competition. We're talking about the best athletes on the entire planet, like guys that are 250 pounds, they run 4.4s and they can bench the house, squat the house. So it's like, I wasn't that type of guy. So I had to approach it in that sense, understanding that and try to flash, what I could bring to the game. And I think Detroit saw that. They
Mm-hmm.
saw, what value I could bring. And, I went in there and had a great experience. And it was a different beast, man. I got there and I'm like, oh, this is it right here. Like these are grown men and they got families to feed. So it was different, man. But it's a blessing, man, to be able to go through something like that and get that experience. It's the best sport in the world, man. There's nothing else I'd rather be doing than experiencing that and where I'm at now. So
I want to put the
you know,
phone number up there again, guys, for me, Ali. I mean, Sante, sorry about that. Put the phone number up. We definitely want people to call in. They got questions for Nolan, man. I mean, he is the epitome, again, of a kid getting in the dirt, man. Didn't have, like I said, coming out of high school, didn't have all the stars, but he put the work in. And Reg talks, to your credit, Reg, you talk about this all the time, man. We get caught up in the stars, Reg, the name and the programs and all this, but Nolan's the epitome, man, of what you want your kid to do, man, and put the work in. And it's not how you start, it's how you finish. So 248-905-1128. 248-905-1128. You got questions for Mr. Nolan Givens, please call us now.
And,
Reg, go ahead.
and I'm just going to add too, man. It's just I always talk about this in your mindset. Your mindset controls your destination, right? And your grind must be real. You don't have to be the best athlete. You just got to work harder than the next athlete. And Nolan was that person. Rising Stars is built on developing kids, but developing hard-working young men. If you work hard and your grind is real, you commit to your dream. That's anywhere. I don't do nothing different over in Rising Star. I just ride their asses. But I rode Nolan and he got frustrated. It got tough in life. It got tough on the field. But he accepted every challenge. And he balled out.
No doubt.
He balled out. So guess what? That's the next person got to do. He got an opportunity for the league. And like he said, it's different there. These grown men.
They
They
got
trying to
mortgages to
feed-
pay.
They
Right.
got to feed nine of the kids. I just read an article, man, that they got the average NFL players got 5 kids. You know what I mean? So they got to feed them babies and they got to work, man. So that's what Nolan was built on,
Yeah.
and that's why he's going to be successful because he know how to grind.
Yeah.
And going through what he went through, all his high school career as well as his college career, and put him in the blessing situation. You got to want to grind, and he done that. And that's Rising Stars is built on putting you guys in situation. You can go far as you want to go with the right mindset,
That work.
and that's what we're doing. But I got a question, Nolan. Since you're coaching,
Yep.
yeah.
you got a lot of offers out of high school. Can you explain to the world what offers means?
Yeah. So I think a lot of it is timing is really an important piece. I don't think people realize that, right? Guys get offers and they're, sophomores. That's a projection. That's a long ways to go, for a school, to evaluate you. You flash a lot and they want to be that school to show you some love, and that's how they do that. I mean, that's something that, could theoretically be committable, but it ain't committable until you sign that paper, on signing day. And people got to understand that. So I think the timing is an important piece. But offers, it's an opportunity to go in, and you got to define what that is now because it's changed, right? At the FBS level before, offers, man, you're on a full ride, you go to school and you get everything paid for. At the FCS levels, it's different. At our level, offers can be, there's scholarship offers, but it depends on what it looks like because we can break our scholarships up. So it depends on the timing, right? You give a guy an offer a senior year. That means, okay, let's go. Like, you've done enough. You've proven to us, come on this official visit, and we'll really lock this thing in. So, I think the timing piece is important. I think it's expressing like the interest from the school. They want to make sure that they're establishing that relationship right now. And there's different ways that schools go about it. If they just throw out a million offers, sometimes it's not really something that means a lot in a sense. But there are schools that approach it a little bit differently, where if they offer you, like, it's a genuine thing that they want to take that next step in the relationship building process of like recruitment and all that stuff. So I think timing is important. And then you gotta make sure you nourish that relationship with those coaches and all that stuff. If that makes sense.
I do.
Yeah.
Now, does it make a difference? Can you get to your destination from FCS programs?
hmm You mean like end goal?
Yeah, end goal.
NFL. That's what he
Oh yeah, man. If you're good, they'll find you. Like we had a really struggle. Like we had a difficult season this past year, but we had this tackle, and he's all of 6'5". He's 300 pounds. He can move everybody around. We've had 30 NFL scouts at our practices, and you would think, why this team just finished 111? Why would they have any scouts at their practice field? But it's because we have guys here. So if you go somewhere and you perform and you're separating yourself from your competition on a consistent basis, they're going to show up. That's what they're paid to do. They put all these guys out there in the country to go find the best athletes, and it's not always, every guy that's at the FBS levels or P4 levels. Like there's some late bloomers. There's guys that fall through the cracks for whatever reason, but they'll find you, man. And that was something that I realized too, because I played at 3 different schools, and by the last school I was at, I started to put it together a little bit, and we had just as many NFL scouts at all our practices. It helped because our quarterback was a projected draft pick as well, but depends on who you surround yourself with and the program and things like that. I had to do a good job to nourish those relationships with the NFL scouts and bring them in and do a really good job, making them feel welcome, and they're going to come back. But yeah, it doesn't matter. I mean, people say that, it sounds cliche, but like I've been there on both sides of it, coaching and playing. Like they will come find you if you are a good football player.
Right. Now, do they offer
Go ahead.
FCS offer NIL deals?
Yeah, depending on where you're at. Some of the schools in our league, they do. We're newly kind of FCS. It's been about 4 years, but there are some schools in our conference, they offer NIL packages. Some where they pay your rent every month. You get free meals. Just whatever in any form that they can provide. There'll be some schools at any level really that can put something together. So,
No, would it be a problem going to FCS, playing 2 years, dominating, and enter the transfer portal?
no. I mean, at this point, FCS ball is just a better junior college because there's no restrictions on the portal except for your degree, your progress towards degree is what kind of is hurting people transferring around a bunch of times. But there's no issue with that. I mean, if you come here and if you need to really get a bounce back into your career, you come here and dominate for a year, and then you go back to that level, and you got the experience you need and all that stuff. I don't think that makes any bit of a difference. It hurts for us, but we understand that, and that's just the way recruiting is in the world that we live in right now. But I think that's a great way to try to spark your career. And, you need some confidence, right? If you get buried down, you go to Alabama, you get buried down in the depth chart of 10 4-stars, which you probably shouldn't have gone there anyways because
Right.
you knew there was 10 guys there.
Right.
But you go somewhere else smaller, and then you start doing your thing again. And then you become, a little bit more, you have that leg up. So I don't think there's any problem with that, man. I don't want kids to not do that because of whatever. Like, you're gonna go
248.
get paid. Go do
I'm
it.
sorry. Yeah. 248-905-1128. 248-905-1128. We're talking to Coach Nolan Gibbons from Utah Tech. Talk a little bit about your position at Utah Tech, man.
Yeah. So I coach wide receivers here. It's my first position coach job, which is awesome for me because I've, been really, I'm really new to this whole coaching thing. This is my second year coaching, and I'm getting a Division I position job, within that second year, which is pretty great. We're out here really far west, and it's a different experience for me to be out here. I never spent any time here, just the recruiting world. I recruit Los Angeles, which I love, going out there, and those are some of the best athletes that I've seen in the country. There's just so many guys there, so I love doing that. And we're building here. We're in a rebuild. We've got a lot of young guys, and we're trying to reset the culture here. There hasn't been a lot of what's the word I'm looking for? There just hasn't been a lot of structure here. And I'm not saying anything about the previous staff or who's been here before, but we have to figure out what it takes to win. And my guys start to figure that out. And we've put together a few really good games, and it's been a grind, and it won't ever stop. And it's a good opportunity to come out here, man. We could have a lot of growth. There's a lot of potential here. We just gotta build it. You got to go out and recruit. Recruiting is the key to success at college football. You can't win if you can't recruit. So that's what we got to do.
I think I just seen your mom in the chat, Miss Deborah.
Yeah, look, she said what?
I just pull it up for me. There she is.
That's hilarious.
There she is. Hey, mom, what's going on?
Hello,
But hey,
mom.
Allie, we want to bring you in, man. You got anything for Coach?
Yeah, I'll say earlier when you guys were talking about FCS making it to the NFL, like everybody
Mhm.
knows who Cooper Cup is. He played
Yeah,
in FCS.
yeah,
And then the other thing I'll say is honestly, like people could use your story as motivation because you were a small high school guy.
yeah,
You said you weren't the most like super confident guy at these camps with all these P4 guys. Like a lot of kids, they can see these 4 stars and maybe lose a little bit of confidence, but at the end of the day, you went farther than a lot of those guys. You had a chance to the NFL. Some of those guys might have never had that chance. So it really just shows the story of like if you're resilient and you do things the right way, then
Mhm.
eventually it can pay off for you in the right way.
And it
for
sounds
sure.
like Nolan, you sound like you kind of found your niche a little bit
Mhm.
when you played. You know what I mean? Talk a little bit about that because I tell kids, "What up, though, that bruh?" I tell kids all the time. I don't care if it's basketball, football, baseball, whatever.
Yeah,
Sometimes find that niche. You may not be the fastest guy, the strongest guy. If you play basketball, play heli defense. Lock
yeah,
somebody down. If you
right.
play tight end, maybe you're not a 4-3 guy, but you blocking the hell out of somebody, man. Talk a little bit
Yeah,
about that.
yeah. Um, it's something that comes with experience and time. You got to figure out as you build chemistry with your coaches and your team, like how do I fit in best? And that's what good coaches do is they put their guys in the best position as to what they thrive the best in, and then you work on the other stuff along the way.
Hmm.
That was something that I figured out, I guess, early in my career at Ball State. That was the first school I went to. I could move. I was able to create separation and get open, and I caught the ball well.
Hmm.
I started off my career strong with, I think I led the team in touchdown reception, something like that. So, from a very early spot in my career, I was able to figure out what I excelled at, and there was still a lot of my game that I needed to develop. But at that time, one of my best friends was the quarterback, so it was easy for us to go out there, and you just had that connection already because he already knew that I was going to be open, and if he had the protection, he was going to come find me. So that helps. And then like it comes down to play calling and just the coaches trying to figure out, okay, how does he excel at these things, and how can we just figure out that. So it's something that happens just with playing. You figure out, what am I good at? Okay, I can read this defense well. I know where the soft spot in the zone is going to be, or I know where I need to put my hands on this block, or I know what the leverage needs to be right here, or whatever. I know how I can beat this defender on the release. Whatever it needs to be, it comes naturally, and I think that's how you figure that stuff out. It just comes with repetition. So.
He's definitely a coach, guys.
Oh, yeah.
He's
Right.
definitely a coach. No,
Yeah.
hey, man, it is big props to you.
So,
Reg.
I appreciate it.
so if my guys want to get recruited
Yeah.
by Utah Tech, how can I make that happen?
So all the way out in Detroit,
Yes, sir.
they got to come out here because we don't have anybody that recruits Detroit because
Right.
we got California, Utah, Nevada, Arizona, and Idaho over here, which we recruit heavily.
Mhm.
But to me, if you can play and you're willing to make that move, then you got to show us that because we're not going to waste our time trying to recruit a guy halfway across the country. If they DM us like, hey, here's my film, like, yeah, you're a good player, but like there's maybe 10 guys that are very similar to that guy right down the street. So what's going to be the difference between me recruiting them and you? Okay. So to show us that you're interested, right? You fly your butt out to camp. Okay. You get here, you impress us. We have measurables. We've met you. We've talked to you, met your parents. We know your story. We know all those things. Boom. Great relationship right there. So you already have a leg up on guys that are close by. They're like, I don't want to go to camp. I'm right down the road. They should be able to find me. Well, why didn't you come to camp? Well, it wasn't important to me. So you've shown us that. But to a guy out of state, it's important to them that they want to get recruited. So if it's not even us specifically, it's whoever. That I think you got to come to campus. You gotta show up to camp. You got to show up to game visits. You got to come to unofficial visits, whether it's a spring ball practice or junior day. You come just you're stopping through during the summer. We have guys through our facilities all the time. It's just because they want to get recruited. And that's the great thing that our head coach does is he finds a way to be connected with recruits from all over the place. He doesn't discriminate anything. He's responsive to copious amounts of emails. I don't even know how he does it, man. He's sending me guys in Wisconsin. I'm like, Coach, what are we doing right now? So, but it's good, man. It's good. You reach out and you develop those relationships and build. But I think camp is the biggest thing, because if you can see a person work out against guys that are either local to you or other guys from other areas, you can see how they perform versus just watching film. And I think really, because coaches might not have any clue what type of level of high school football a guy is playing in if they're not nearby, if they haven't recruited that area. Like for me, I would know about the Detroit area because I grew up in it.
You grew
and I'm
up,
very
right.
tapped in it. You know what I mean? So if we're talking about that, I think it's coming to camp, building those relationships and trying to visit and separate yourself from the other guys that aren't doing those things.
So I want to ask this question.
Yeah.
When you came through your process,
Mhm.
how do you keep your offers? When you get offered, what do you have to do to keep
Yeah.
those offers?
It's the relationship stuff. So you going back to campus, you making sure that you reach back in with those coaches, you connect and just try to facilitate and nurture those relationships, because I think that's really what it is communication, because it's not like you're always going to be around unless you live down the street. If you get offered from Penn State and you live in Detroit, like, you're not down the street. You got to go to that school. You got to keep making sure you tap in with them, and it's going to be a two-way street, right? And you can make sure that the coaching staff is still interested. And at a certain point, there's only so much you can do. Like they're going to move on, or they think there's better suited guys for whatever. But it's continuing to get better too. Like if you get an early offer and then you just kind of get a bunch of 7-on-7 hype, and then it's just he's just an okay player. He can just kind of run around a little bit, and he's not really a difference maker. Like you have to build off of your early success. You got to let it snowball. You can't just be complacent. You know what I mean? Like, I got early offers, I'm the man. No, it don't work like that. You know what I mean? So it's constant grind. It's constant communication. It's constantly just trying to, build off of what you started with. So
248-905-1128. 248-905-1128. Nolan, talk a little bit about, because we talk about 707, man.
yeah.
Have you ever looked at a kid that plays just 707 and recruited them and didn't really have high school football film?
Yeah, I mean, if you see, like, we don't evaluate 7-on-7 film. We host like 7-on-7 tournaments and camps and things like that. So that could be a doorway into getting recruited.
Sure.
But we're never going to base any of our recruitment off of anything from 7-on-7, unless it's like we're physically watching somebody, and then it's like, okay, what does the tape look like now? So if you see someone's capable, sure, but to me, like, if it doesn't translate on a football field, it don't matter, because I'm not going out there playing two-hand touch on Saturday. I'm out there playing tackle football. So I think it can help you get started. I think it can help you, like, especially when you're young. It's like, oh, this kid, he's making some great catches. We can see his athleticism. He can run. He can get out of his breaks. Like, stuff like that early on, I think helps you. But you got to have the tape to back it up. But I think it can definitely help you as a starting point for sure.
So, in going to depth, we talk about building relationships.
Yeah.
Now, Nolan, we had this conversation when you was growing up.
Mhm.
University of Pittsburgh send you a game day invite,
Yeah.
and it's coming from the recruiting department.
Yeah.
What do that mean?
To me, I think it depends, right? Like, if you are getting spam game invites, and to be transparent with you guys, like, we'll send out game invites to anybody, like, we want to make sure we have a bunch of recruits there so we can have a nice big group to come support us. And then you never know, like, somebody could show up and it's like, oh, this guy's, you size him up, you get the eye test on him, you measure him, you get his height and weight, and you get to talk to him a little bit. By chance, you can run into some guys. But it's gotta go beyond the recruiting department. Like, to me, that invite is cool. Like, great, you get to go to that game day experience. I'm sure it's great, but what do you do when you get there? Are you going to introduce yourself to the position coach? Are you going to make sure you go talk to your specific recruiting area coach? Are you going to be able to talk to maybe the head coach even, or a coordinator or something like that? Like, if you feel like you could be recruited at that school, you gotta take that step once you're there to then establish that relationship. Because if you don't talk to those coaches at all previous to that invite doesn't mean anything. So.
And just to add to that, and a lot of guys been going to these schools that been inviting them to fill the stands. I understand that. It's giving you that opportunity. So that what you have to do is get your butt there and do your due diligence by communicating to that recruiting coach and ask that recruiting coach, who is my tight end coach?
Yeah.
And who's the tight end coach? Who's my recruiter for my area?
Mm-hmm.
Now,
Mm-hmm.
before you go, find that recruiter as well as your position coach. Email them your film.
Yeah.
If you got somebody that can call and say, hey, Nolan Givens is coming. Here's his film. He has 8 offers. You need to look at him. I'm telling you he can play.
Yeah.
And you like I say this, never go to a visit unannounced.
I agree.
You can't.
No, that's so true.
Yep.
That's so true. Because there's guys that show up in our weight room. We do a big pregame like introduction, and I've never even heard or seen this person in my life. And they're trying to, and I don't have a lot of time. Like I get that's a good point. Like I get you want to try to introduce yourself and talk to these coaches. Like I said, like you got to do that. But I think the thing being unannounced, that's huge, because if we don't know, we're not going to spend a bunch of time talking to some guy we've never met before when we've got 3 other 4-star recruits here that have offers from every school in our conference. Like, why would we, you know what I mean? So that's a great point.
That's
It is.
that's huge. I mean, because I'm telling my guys is that you just happy of going to a visit and saying that I went to Michigan.
Right.
Okay, that's fine.
For what?
For what? I mean, and see what I want my guys to understand their recruiting profile. There's
Yeah.
no damn 5'8" quarterback at Michigan.
Nope.
You can't get a scholarship on a 5'8" unless you running 4.1s
Yeah.
and you throwing that shit like Kyler Murray.
Right.
Mhm.
I mean, you have to understand your profile before you
Right.
go. Now, it's the same thing with PWOs. Don't call me like, hey, Reggie, I want to go to here and you're 5'6" and you're playing quarterback and you're 4'9". Hey, I'm sorry, you got a 2.1 trying to go to Michigan. It ain't gonna happen. Understand your profile.
Right.
Understand what you're getting into. Network, because understand I'm only one person. I did Nolan recruiting out of high school. It took a lot of work. It took a lot of conversation with his mom. I had to call his mom, and she'd say, "Well, Coach, we going to Ball State. Do they really like him? They really like him because he's talking to the tight end coach and he's talking to the head coach. So yes, Mom, you got to go." But Nolan mom never had issues going because she enjoyed it, and she liked seeing her baby happy.
No doubt.
To be
And I went and visited a million schools,
Million
man.
schools.
Yes, you did.
So some of it was maybe a waste of time. Others maybe not so much. But
Right.
But we have, because see, my deal is what I help my guys on, and I tell my guys, man, don't go nowhere unless you call me,
See,
yeah.
because I'm gonna call the school and at least let you know.
you're going to establish the late work.
Courtney Hawkins, my guy's coming there. He's there.
Right.
I just talked to him.
Right.
You got to get your name out there, but you got to do good work. Just don't go to a game. Just you can take a picture and post that shit.
Yeah.
Hey, no, let me ask you this. You're a receiver coach.
Yeah.
What are you looking for in a player right now? Like what? Because you
Specific to receiver or any?
let's just say receiver.
Receiver, yeah.
Receiver.
Yeah.
What are you looking for?
So I think for me right now, we need a lot more size in our room. So I need guys with a larger frame. I need them to be like at least 6 foot, 6'1" right now. Guys that are not necessarily possession guys, but they have strength and, they show really strong hands and they have really good ball skills. Because, for us right now, our room, we have a bunch of little guys who are good. They play well in the slot and they're shifty, but we need more length on the outside position. So those are the guys that we're targeting right now, and it's a year by year basis. So right now that's what we need to have the focus. I think the biggest thing with receiver, man, is just it's separation. Like when you catch a ball, right? Let's say you didn't get the most separation on your route. Can you just run away from people? Like just take off and accelerate. If we see the acceleration, then it's okay. We can translate that into route running. We can work on the stuff with the top end of your routes, development of the route tree, things like that. So if you're able to flash that stuff with natural hands, with the ability to run away from people, you run well. I like guys that have a good stride to them. If your stride looks a little funky, you don't open up really well, you got like a little hitch in your step, things like that. It's just kind of off-putting because it could be an indicator for like previous injury or something where you might be, more prone to injure yourself. But I like to see a nice, fluid, smooth stride. It's not like a deal breaker for me, but those are the things that are attractive. Guys that have great, strong, natural hands. They track it well. They accelerate well. And then you got to do some stuff after the catch. Explosive plays are huge. If you're showing a bunch of curl routes for 12-yard gains, okay, can we break a tackle and take it to the house for 80 yards? Like, I want to see stuff like that. But right now we need more length, so that's what we're looking for at this time in this cycle.
I got a question. In the portal, do you prefer like a Power Five, Group of Five guy that might have never played, or would you take a D2 guy that's been productive, or a D3 guy that's been productive, or how do you balance it? And then also for that D3 guy or D2,
Mhm.
it's kind of hard to see. Like it's a change of levels. So how do you know if he can make that jump or if he can't? And then also the Group of Five guy, how do you know if he's ready to start if he hasn't played at the FBS level?
Yeah, and you got to call people. You gotta investigate. You got to do this recruit vetting. That's stuff that we and I really try to do a really good job of. You got to figure out what the deal is with this guy. They're a 4-star that goes to Kentucky, and they've redshirted and haven't played this their third year there. What's the deal? Why did he there? Why is he there? Why is he not playing? You've got to connect there. Let me call him and figure out. Okay, what's his story? What are his red flags? What are any issues that have maybe inhibited him from getting on the field? Because if you watch practice tape and stuff like that, because film is going to be posted, we don't offer people off of no film. We don't offer anybody like in the portal because they were this star recruit or whatever. They got good practice tape, but like, what's the deal? Is there some baggage that we're not aware of? Like, what is going on with this guy? So you have to vet your recruits. You got to figure out what the situation is for them. Everybody's got their own unique story. We want to have guys in here that are committed to the game, that want to work here, and just they're not obsessed with how big their stadium is, or all the different free meals that they get and stuff like that. Like, what's important to them. You got to find that stuff out. So like the bigger school guys, you do that overall, but with the guys that are at those larger schools, what's the reason? And then the guys at the smaller schools, like, I guess how you compare them is the domination factor. Like, if this is a D3 guy, like, he shouldn't be getting tackled if he's going to come play as Division I football. So it kind of just depends on the situation. I think there are great players at every single level. Like, I think we could really benefit, as this portal opens up, is looking at some D2 guys, even possibly some D3 guys, because I've seen it happen. You see guys make that jump all the time. I think there's a guy at UCLA who was playing at Johns Hopkins as a Division III school, and he goes to UCLA and he's a starter, and he's a good football player. So it just depends on the situation. Yeah, I think the connection is huge for us, so we can get the scoop on that prospect. Just as we're trying to bring in those portal guys. If that answers that question.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, you got it. I was just seeing what you thought from your perspective.
Yeah.
Nolan,
Sure.
quick question.
Yeah.
Has there ever been, and I know this is your first year, like you relatively new to the coaching game, so to speak.
Yeah.
But has there been a situation, or have you heard of a situation where a guy, you may not have seen him on the field a lot, he didn't have a lot of tape, but he
Mhm.
came to camp, and you like, who is this cat?
Yeah.
And you said, you know what, based on what I see as opposed to what I didn't see on his high school film. And has there ever been a situation if you recruited a kid like that, or have you heard of that situation?
I mean, I have. I just think the drawback is just the lack of film, because again, like, what you do on a game day is what you're gonna do when you come here and play. Like, if a guy tears it up in camp, but he doesn't play because he's banged up, or he's just limited, or maybe they don't pick up the playbook, or I mean, whatever. There's a million different things as to why somebody doesn't play. I think seeing that person in camp definitely helps, but it's all dependent on the situation, right? If we have guys that have solid game film, like those guys are going to get the preference, in my personal opinion.
Sure.
I don't know. I haven't really experienced anything like that yet, where we've kind of recruited a guy with like minimal film. It just, it depends. Like, if it's somebody, like if we're talking like junior year tape and like an injury happens, and then, we've already offered them, they want to commit, something like that. Like, that's a little bit different. But yeah, I haven't really experienced that, but I guess it's all situation specific.
It's
I give you, I'm sorry, Rez, but I give an example. and you know him very well, Nolan. Damaris
Yeah.
Woods.
Okay. Yeah.
Damaris coming out of Brother Rice, Reg. He didn't have a whole junior year. He got a few catches. But I'm just saying in high school, he didn't really play until his senior year, right?
Junior, senior spot. Yes, yeah.
You know what I mean. He didn't. I'm just saying he didn't have a whole lot of film. But when he went to this 7-on-7, people are actually looking at his 7-on-7 film, and that garnered some interest. So that's why I brought that up.
Yeah.
Just to see. I know that's an anomaly, so to speak.
Yeah.
And then he went on to play well at Saginaw Valley. So just curious about that.
Well, it's just the 7-on-7 is just added footage to see movement and see what he's capable of, seeing his competition on and can he compete every level. And normally the first scenario is saying that they're not just got little film. That's called a PWO. Shit, we're gonna give you a PWO, a chance. But Damaris made some good catches, minimum catches, but he did great. And his
he had the size, and he
went to the camp. So like he said, he went to the camp. So I'm going to take a chance on him. But Division II, we're not going to give you a full ride, but we're going to give you enough money to bring your ass in here.
Right.
And he ended up being a 3-year starter, 4-year starter for Saginaw Valley.
Right.
So it doesn't mean you can't get to school if you don't have a lot of tape, just minimum tape. You just got to show these guys that you can play.
Right.
And it might be a PWO.
Right.
You know what I mean? But since we're talking about the PWO, the 105 roster rules, what does that mean to you guys?
Oh, great question.
Yeah, it's challenging now because your roster is larger than that, so we're going to have to trim that down, and that does affect the PWO thing because you can have 105 guys on scholarship. And what they're changing now at the FBS level, from my understanding, is they're going to be able to break scholarships up. So some of the walk-ons that they have, they'll probably be able to take care of and put them on. But other guys, they're going to say, peace out. Like we don't have a spot. At the end of the day, we got to trim down. So, it's affecting everybody. And I don't know if it necessarily helps or hurts us. I think in a sense it could maybe help us because there's probably some really good walk-ons at these big schools that are going to be looking for somewhere to go, and we're like, hey, we got an opportunity for you here. So I think that would be good. I think with all the changes, honestly, with the portal, with the NIL, with the 105, like it's hurting guys a lot more than it's probably helping them, in my opinion. And it makes it challenging, but it is good for guys that are worth a little bit of money that schools are like, I don't know if we really want to make the move on him yet, if we want to wait it out. But they're like, okay, let's make sure we take care of this guy and keep him here. But yeah, it's changing. It really is. And it's something that we're trying to navigate right now. And it's not official yet, but it's like, it's inevitable. It's just a matter of when that's going to happen. So
That's right.
You said something that caught my attention about, and I'll make sure you clarify that. NIL,
Yeah.
Did you say that is kind of, it's a negative to a degree? I want to make sure we have this discussion all the time. Elaborate on that, please.
Yeah, I think it's good, but I think it is distracting. Like at the end of the day, and I'm really happy for that guy at Belleville High School. He gets $10 million to go to Michigan. It's like, it's crazy, as you're giving a 17-year-old kid this locked in contract with NFL money, and it's just, I think it's a distraction. I think it's good because guys are definitely worth earning money at the collegiate level because they do a lot to bring in revenue for the university. I think it's great. But again, it's just a bidding war to me at the end of the day. And I think it kind of takes away from, and I sound like an old head, man. I'm a coach now. Before, right? If I'm a player, I'm like, nah, man, like pay him as much money as possible. You know what I mean? But
no, how do you tell a kid that's got $10 million that comes to your school? Yeah. Just put yourself in a situation right now. You got Derek Denham. I'm coming. I'm the hot shot. I got $10 million. How do you coach a kid? What in the hell can you tell him?
Man, that's my thing. Like, it makes it difficult. And then there's all this pressure now from the external forces that are providing this money. You got to start this dude. It's week 3. He's played terrible. And I'm not saying this about the guy at Belleville, but it's anybody, because he's not the only guy that's going to be getting paid up the butt. Like, they're going to be telling these the boosters and people that are creating these funds, we got an influence on this stuff. You're a head coach. You have a certain I don't want to say handcuffed, but like there are going to be people, getting in the AD's ear and saying things like, "Hey, we got to get this guy on the field because we paid him all this money. We ain't, we didn't pay to see him on the bench." So stuff like that, man. I think it affects the team in a sense. Like, I hate for a guy to go around acting all high and mighty because I'm getting X amount of dollars and you ain't getting this and that. And I don't know, man. It just depends on the people that are making the buku bucks. I think it's a different world. I mean, it's something that we all have to kind of figure out. Is this something that we need to put a limit on? Is it just guns blazing? We'll just start throwing money at anybody. Like, I don't know. It's kind of crazy, but
My solution,
yeah,
and I'm hoping NCAA is hearing this because you're destroying the game.
yeah,
Now, all the kids should get paid.
yeah.
Whether
I agree.
NIL, what we should get paid, equally amounted. Now,
To everybody.
everybody,
So
that
everybody gets
first
the same
2 years,
amount.
that's first 2 years. Now, it's predicated on playing.
Okay.
Okay, so first, my starters, you get so much percentage. My second, my backup, you get so much percentage. My third string, you get percentage. You travel, you get a percentage. Additional money
Bonuses. Yeah.
bonuses on that. Right now, after the second year of being productive on the college level, you can negotiate what the hell you want to negotiate.
But-
if
but-
it's 10.5, is that 10.5 million? Let's roll.
Well, Reg, hold on. Let me interject, Nolan.
Yeah.
But a lot of this NIL is used to do what, guys? It's to bring the kids in.
Yeah.
So how do you got Bryce Underwood, you got Reggie, you got Nolan, you got me, you got Al. Bryce is a 5-star. It takes $10 million to get this kid here. So how do you work that around? AJ Smith says money about to take over and it's about to be a free agency war. True. Once you tell a kid something he doesn't like.
It's going to happen because you got to have a strong foundation. And what's pissing me off is that we have grown ass men in the office that's in the NCAA have not done that. I guarantee in next 2 years, the Power Four is going to form their own union. They're going to do their own shit because they don't have no control. Because NCAA 3, 4, 5 years ago before the pandemic, they did nothing when the pandemic jumped out.
Right.
So if you're so much concerned about our student athletes, shit, make the right decision.
Yeah.
We didn't do that. So I'm all for my babies getting paid.
Right.
My Bryce getting $10 million and whatever he's getting. Hey, just put in his contract. Bryce must take some financial literacy courses to educate himself about his finance. Get investment. Get him a damn financial advisor.
Yeah.
Yeah, they should have that at Michigan. But when you bring a guy in and
anywhere.
Allie and Nolan, the guy Portnoy from he's the booster that's helping.
Portnoy.
Yeah,
The
Portnoy.
Boston
Thank
sports guy. Yeah.
Thank you. He's the brother that let me see. Steve Chafin says reevaluate NIL semester by semester, just like they're doing the scholarships now. But he's almost like, I want Bryce.
I'll pay whatever.
Bryce. You know what I mean, Nolan? I'm gonna get him.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pay
That's
whatever
what I'm
money I got. It's like you're. It's a different day, man. It's
It
just
is.
a different damn.
Well,
day.
they have agents now, and
And they're taking advantage of our damn kids.
Yeah, they are.
Taking
And I
advantage
think
of our
there's
damn
some
kids.
guys on our staff have basically been like, if we want to treat this like, it's a professional organization, then there's going to be other things that go on. Guys are getting threatened to get cut, and all types of stuff is going to be incorporated. And that, I mean, it just, I don't know. Like you have to put some regulation on it. You have to figure out like if there's legislation that you want to put in place to regulate it, because it's going to get out of hand if they don't do anything. It's just going to continue to get worse and worse. So
And
it's crazy.
it is crazy, but it takes away from the love of this game.
Got to, bro.
I love this game, man. But
Yeah.
it makes me. I'm like Nick Saban and like Brian Kelly. They are getting pissed because it's a bidding war for a football player that need to be in a certain place. Now my guys, as a Power 4 player, think they're a Power 5 player and have the audacity to ask me for some damn NIL money. Go earn it. Go earn it.
It's funny because I seen something with Ryan Clark on a podcast, and he was saying, he was talking to the other guys on the show, and they all played pro, and he said, "How do you replace that hunger from sleeping on the floor or not having a lot of meals, and see these NFL guys that got kids playing in the league, their kids didn't come from the mud. You feel me? They got all the trainers. They can do this, and do that. How do you instill that hunger? So I look at NIL the same way, guys. It's like, the Bryce is making more money than his position coach.
A lot more. Yeah.
So that's the caveat. So hey, more power to these cats, man. I wish it was me, Nolan. I'm sure you wish.
Right. I just missed it by a year. I said, dang, I could have got a couple months of rent paid for or something. I mean, dang.
Exactly.
Right.
So,
So what about when I went to school? Shit, you had to beat the pizza man up. You fucking eat. You know what I mean?
Like putting on the trench coat, going in the door, and
hey.
stealing the chicken.
And we had the audacity to complain about $150,000 to $200,000.
Yeah.
Hell,
Crazy, man.
I didn't get 50 cents in a bag of peanuts, man. Hell, man. You know what I mean? So I mean, I'm okay because they should get paid. They're making millions of dollars off my babies.
But put some regulations on.
Regulation on it, man.
Yeah. Well, Nolan, anything else, man? What else we need to know, man? How can we help? As far as go ahead, Red. You got something?
You got to clear it up. You tell them, because I know I get you all. Tell them about how important is doing this NCAA clearinghouse and why we need it.
Okay, yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. Huge. So the Clearinghouse Eligibility Center is huge because you need an ID number in order to go take your official visits and stuff like that. And it makes our lives easier for our compliance team who is tracking eligibility and stuff like that. So when you create that account, I don't know exactly what it looks like. I don't remember.
Sure.
But the biggest thing for us is the transcripts uploading. And then the NCAA can create projections and things like that. If you're a guy that's teetering on the edge of being eligible or not, they can create projections. Okay, you need to get these grades in these classes in order to have this core GPA to be eligible by NCAA standards. And it just makes it easier for our teams. And this is any university, right? They can pull your transcripts directly. They can do their evaluations, do all those things, and it makes their lives easier. And you skip a lot of steps, just by the translation of information, just by having that stuff in there. And it's all there for them and accessible. So it makes it a lot easier for anybody that's trying to get recruited. So,
Rich?
Yeah, it's amazing, man. Listen, I just want you guys to understand Nolan's situation, how he started out, where he's at, and maybe me and Nolan thought maybe the NFL wasn't his way, but coaching might be. Now, what people don't understand, it's a grind, just like it's on a football field.
Sure.
The pay structure goes up tremendously every level you goes up. I know guys that's making $2.5 million. I know guys that's making $12 million. So, with everything you want, you can get it from what you work for, and it's just called generation wealth and get it from coaching. But I mean, you have to love this shit. You got to love this. Just coaching as well as football. If you don't love it, find something else. Ford and General Motors might be for you. Taco Bell need managers. Whatever it takes, whatever makes you happy.
Yeah.
But I mean, you got to get out there and give your best effort, and that's what pisses me off when I get my guys. They're asking for $10.5 million, and they fucking give them 50%.
Yeah.
Everybody playing. Don't hate on Bryce because he worked his ass off, and he have done that.
Sure.
And he deserved every bit of it. And they allow him to get $10.5 million, take it.
Of course.
And take it.
Right.
But please work for it, because if he goes in there and give 40% effort, they're going to destroy him verbally and try to destroy him physically.
Yeah, mentally.
They're going to destroy it. Mentally, they're going to destroy my birth, but they're going to destroy my baby.
A lot of pressure, bro.
A lot of pressure. But anybody I know, he has that work ethic to handle that shit.
Yeah.
And his family is strong.
Yeah.
So get the NIL, but work for your money. We gave you a lot of vital information. Nolan played for me, and he was a true rising star. That's what rising stars mean, develop from nothing to being superhero and contributing and giving back. And Nolan is that.
No doubt.
So I
Appreciate you, Red.
appreciate you, baby.
Red, Nolan, you already know, bro. I appreciate you, man. I might have somebody I need to have you could give a little conversation to.
Yeah. Yeah, hit me up. Just let me know, man. I love to mentor, and
Yes.
that's another piece of this coaching thing, man. I love the game so much, and I'm a competitor, and I'm not playing no more, but to change people's lives, the same way Reggie changed my life, and all the
Sure.
coaches that I've had with Key and
Sure.
my high school coaches and all that stuff, man. Like anybody that I can mentor and just provide wise words for, man, because I've been there. It's a
Yes, you
struggle.
have.
I'm still going through it. It's just a
Yes, you
different type of grind, man, and it's not easy, but football will provide you with a lot, man. You gotta give your all to the game, and it will give everything back to you. So
And I think our guy Curtis Blackwell, he always says that use football is a
The
vehicle,
vehicle too.
and you
Yep.
use it as a vehicle. Sometimes it may not go in the certain direction that we may want it to go into, but it gets you to where you need to be and what your calling is. So, man,
As
so
long
much-
as you
so
long
proud
as
of
you
him.
driving and consistent, hey, life is going to be where you want to be at eventually. Consistent
yeah,
create success. You just continue you doing, baby.
No doubt.
yeah, appreciate you, man.
Nolan, man, all love, man. We appreciate you, Mom. We know you're still watching. Great
Right.
job with Nolan.
Love you, Mom.
You build a great young man.
Absolutely.
Shout out Deborah Pagel, best mom in the world. Love her.
No doubt. Hey, man.
Appreciate you guys.
Yeah, we're going to be in touch, bro, okay?
Yep, sounds good. You
All
guys
right,
take
Thank you,
care.
Nolan. All right,
Yep,
baby.
enjoy.
Yep.
All right, guys. Well, I'm sure we about to wrap up, guys.
Yeah.
Reg, I know you got some things you got to get done.
So I got to
ahead.
put this out here
Please.
because I got to get to the 7-on-7 tryout,
Yep.
and I got to get y'all opinion.
Please.
What's the best high school division in the state of Michigan? And I'm speaking of competition, competitive. I'm thinking about D1 track. Tell me what you think, because Al, I know you got some divisions.
Al, go ahead. I'm going to put it let me go first.
Well,
Al.
I say the most I would say open or most competitive or like most open I would say is Division 2 because De La Salle looked beatable and
Back up, nephew.
Let's clarify.
Conference.
Division.
conference. Oh.
That's easy, Reg.
Yeah, it's probably between the Catholic League and the OAA, but I think the OAA had a little bit of weaker teams this year, so I think the Catholic League.
I'm going with the Catholic League, baby. Can I run them down to you guys? Brother Rice had an off year. New coach coming in. Marshall and those guys. 2 years, they're going to be in the mix. Catholic Central. St. Mary's. Toledo teams down there. Warren De La Salle, guys. I mean, you look at even what a kid, Dearborn Divine Child. Am I missing anybody? Anybody in the Catholic
Oh,
League,
no.
guys?
Is the Detroit Loyola's Catholic League, right?
Detroit Loyola. Yeah. Catholic League by
Detroit Loyola. What?
well, I mean, hell, they had Malik McDowell, the number one
that-
player in the country a few
Back
years
in '88.
But I got Catholic League hands down.
Oakland County, OAA. Oh, that shit is tough, and they tough. and
Run
they
it down.
tough. Hell, Lake Orange, Clarkston, West Bloomfield, Southfield. And Southfield won this year.
Southfield and Clarkston, what they do this year?
Clarkston went to the quarterfinals.
They sure did. They well, you know.
I mean, hell, West Bloomfield went to the playoffs.
Yeah, 5 and yeah.
You know, I mean, Lake Orange went to
Yeah.
playoffs.
What I say is honestly, I think normally the OAA is the toughest division.
The Catholic League probably was better this year.
This year, the Catholic League was the best because St. Mary's last year, I think they missed the playoffs. This year is going to a state championship.
Sure.
Catholic Central is way better than anybody expected. De La Salle is always good. You got the Toledo teams. And then the OAA, West Bloomfield wasn't as good as expectations.
Mm-hmm.
Rochester Adams, they graduated Brady Prescorn. Clarkson graduated Desmond Stevens.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of these teams took a little bit of dips, but Rochester Adams still made it to the semifinals. But I still think that this year it was the Catholic League, but the year before was probably the OAA because you also had Southfield in there too that won the state championship. So it's really interchangeable. But
I think
this
when
year
you
was the Catholic League.
When you talk about Catholic League, though, and I know, Red, you asked a specific question this year.
Yeah, this year was the Catholic League.
Perennially, like this, you got the whole SEC Big Ten over the last 5-10 years. Catholic League, easy, bro. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I know that.
overall for the last 10 years.
I'm in Oakland County. I've been in since I played at a high school.
True.
And we argued back in the day. It was the Saginaw Valley Conference back when we played. That's probably back in '86.
Yeah, but
And
look at the players that came out of Saginaw Valley.
that's
big
different. It was you're right. They were
Okay,
dogs.
yeah,
They were dogs.
exactly.
They were dogs.
time. Thank you.
But OAA put out a lot of dudes. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, but yeah, and I can't. Back when I was growing up, '86, '85, PSFL, the Detroit League was banging.
Tough.
They were
Yeah.
banging. And that's a whole different life too now.
And you talking about teams outside of the Casses and Kings. I mean, yeah, Henry
At Renaissance,
Ford.
Southeastern was really good.
Yes.
I
Yes.
mean,
yes.
so it changes. So
Yeah.
it's gonna get worse because everybody paying that money. So it's changed, but it's gonna get worse, y'all, man.
That's
but
true.
I just want to throw that out there, man. I was sleeping, man. I woke up like, damn, who's the best conference, man?
That's an interesting question.
Yeah, man. So we have that, and I got to get to this tryout.
yeah.
I got a tryout today, high school tryouts.
What time?
7:07 time today at 7:30.
Okay.
To see who the best dogs is, man. You come out there, man,
Mm-hmm.
and listen to me. This top 250 camp is loaded.
Sure.
You better get in. You better send me your freaking your highlight tape to me or Al, and then send it to me so I can evaluate it because I'm taking some dudes,
Sure.
and I need to have some dudes get in. I'm taking big linemen, stud muffins. Bring me some big old linemen. If you big and you can move, you got a chance to get paid. But if you lazy, shit gonna be rough, and you still might get paid.
For sure.
Hell, I know cats is 6'8", 340. Got scholarship offers and then play his sophomore or junior year.
Mm-hmm.
So opportunities are there. That top 250 is going to recognize who's that next top our 5-star is, and you're going to have all the media there. We working on live stream. Come and get it in.
Sure.
If you think you better than Tommy Carr, you think you better than Cade Kaufman, you think you better than Brady Collins, bring your ass out here and show me.
There it
It's
is.
simple. That's
There
what I
it
do.
is.
So stop talking. Blame. I had more stats than him. I don't care about stats. Do your film speak volume about your ability? Come and show me.
And you just had a tryout.
Yesterday with my 10U, 12U, and 14 and 15U, and it was loaded. About 180 kids.
180 kids.
Yeah, but it was some great little joy. Hey man, I haven't dealt with a lot of 7-on-7 with 10U and 12U. Man, that's amazing.
Yeah.
And you know what they do? They listen.
See, that's the
They
difference.
listen, man.
Right.
But their parents are overbearing as hell now. I ain't gonna, hey man, what they got to do to get my baby on this team, man? About 20 million?
Oh, man.
Oh my God, man. But I love it, man.
Yeah.
Let your baby work for his money, man. Let him get it.
For sure.
And if you're good enough, you work over 100%. My shit, I can't do nothing for him because he's gonna get paid anyway.
That's true.
So I gotta get to practice. And if you want to get involved with this top 250, let's go. Training camp starts December 1st. My staff is loaded. Mark Dale, receiver, DeQuante Humphrey from college from receiver. Then we got Fitzgerald Toussaint, running back. Berkeley Edwards, running back.
Okay.
I got Max Green, the Hogs. I got Tyler Washburn, Dawson from Cash Tech, Coach Short, Joe Youngblood.
Mm-hmm.
Then my quarterback coaches, I got Biff. Reggie Anderson is probably one of the best linebacker coaches in the area. He's my defensive coordinator.
Mm-hmm.
We got Victor Edge. We got Isaiah Gordine. We got No Fear Lee, Jaquan Hankinson.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't forget my dogs on the other D-line, Ronald Talley, NFL 10-year vet, Marshall, NFL player Lawrence Marshall.
Mm-hmm.
We're trying to teach. We're trying to mentor. We're trying to get these guys better with their skill set.
Mm-hmm.
My job is make sure your effort is 100% all the time. And when my coach is developing your skill set and I'm developing the effort, you will never lose. Right. And I'm not God, but I know consistency brings success. If you're working hard every day and every hour, you're going to get paid.
So that's Saturday, December 7th, top
250
camp.
And training is December 1st.
There it is. Well, look, I look forward to it, Reg, man, and man, this has been fun. I know we got, like you said, you may try one more at some point.
December 7th.
Yeah, yeah,
We're
another-
gonna check it
another
out. See if
show.
we can do it.
And man, this has been fun, and but at that point we'll know who won in the playoffs for the state champions, man. We get to talk about that, and just enjoyed it, man. I wish more people would honestly take advantage of the show. I know we get a lot of viewers. What Sante? What we average? Probably 550.
Yeah,
550 people watching.
and we get better next year, and we get more people.
No doubt, but the point is, we want people to engage, man. And I appreciate people chatting on the chat because sometimes you multitasking. But man, when you get a kid like Nolan Gibbons, man, that who's you always hear that term "out the mud." Well, this kid was out the mud, and it wasn't how he started; it was how he finished. And so, for all you parents out there, even athletes out there that always asking me questions, this kid did it. And we seen him from day one, man. I mean, mom was engaged in the process. She didn't use the excuse that, dad wasn't partaking in it for whatever reason. I don't know the whole story, but she was there. And single mom, man, she was there every step of the way. She asked the questions. She got involved with the right people. And that's why Nolan is where he is, in addition to his hard work and talent. So
I mean, I'm gonna just chime in a little bit.
yeah.
If you have kids, give them 100% of your time and your
Sure.
effort. I know shit is tight out there.
Sure.
I know we got to feed our kids. If you can do that, if you can get in the car and drive with JoJo to University of Michigan, to
Yes.
Bobby to Michigan State, get involved with your kids. Coach Wins, Coach Blackwell, we are not going to take your kids to every damn game. I'm not.
Right.
Because it's a family affair. I need you to go with your baby to Michigan to understand what is going on with your baby. And the good thing about it, mama have this intuition about the individual coaches.
Mm-hmm.
They read it before you see it.
Sure do.
So if you can go.
And you only got sometimes you only get one shot at this, man. One shot.
I'm about to throw an alley-oop.
Uh-oh. Let me
You have to get involved because every day is not promised. And I'm gonna tell you what, if my son was living, I would be at every game. Every game.
Yes.
I would die to spend time with my son right now. Literally. So I'm saying to you guys, you got that damn opportunity. Take advantage of it. We losing our kids every day. And I'm a living witness. So I'm advising you guys, if you got a chance to spend time with your son and have a conversation, communicate. Was my shit best with my son? No, we fought, argued, we did all that. But I had to back up and stop being a parent and be a coach to my kid and allow him to make decisions on his own because it was his life. But I'm telling you, please, we losing our kids so fast. Suicide, drugs, we losing our babies, man. If you can just get in and buckle down and be that parent that you should be to your kid and just take a minute, just spend the time. Hey, you can, guess what? You can take your ass to Floods after the damn game. You can go get a pizza after the damn game.
Oh, man.
Get involved, please, man.
Yeah.
All right? So I'm sorry about going over there.
No, we needed to hear that. bro.
I just
We
need
to
you
hear
guys to understand how important your babies are. And some of y'all do.
that. Yeah.
But if you don't, I'm going to take his ass and take him around and help him out because we need to save our kids.
And like I said, primarily, the reason why I brought this up, because you provided this vehicle here. And are we ESPN on the college game day? No, we're not Desmond and whoever else, Lee Corso, but we've been around, worked with a lot of kids. You guys see the guests, you see the conversations, because obviously we've been knowing these cats, a lot of them since they were kids. And you can't pay for that type of stuff. You really can't. So take advantage of these forums. And then it don't just have to be this one. Someone else is doing it. Take advantage of that. But this is so important. You can't be shy. Get engaged, man, and ask the questions because now the season is coming to an end.
What's next?
What's next? So, man, much love to you, bro. You already
appreciate
know,
you.
man.
Yeah, appreciate
Proud of
you.
you, man.
Proud of you too, man.
And,
Good job, man.
Yeah. We're going to do it. Allie, man, proud of you too, man. And guys, look, support Allie too with what he does with Mission Exposure. This is a young cat on here, man. You guys hear his knowledge, man. I mean, hell, he know every player. I mean, you like a walking damn encyclopedia. Y'all don't even know what encyclopedias are anymore, but he's it. So, man, much love to you, man. It's a pleasure working with you, man. And, much success. And we definitely going to work again and look forward to that. Anything else you want to add, man, before we get out of here?
Appreciate it, man. And I'll just say happy Thanksgiving and just be ready for the off season.
Let's go.
Yeah, let's go. And Big Al been doing it, man. And
Yes, sir.
I wish I would have started at his age, man. I'd probably
Oh, man.
I probably know every damn body in the damn country.
Right.
But I've been grinding, and Al been with me. I'm gonna make sure he get to
Yes.
further than what I've done.
Yep.
Because he has a passion and love for that, and it's not enough people. I eventually, old Reggie Wynn's gonna have to take a step back and pass that baton to Al. So I'm gonna give him all my tricks and trade and let him do what he got
You
to
better
do.
hurry up because I'm sure people from other networks or whoever's looking at him. I mean, because and then
Oh,
that's
no
a compliment to you, man.
No
Real
doubt.
talk.
No doubt.
Because I know Reg can't be everywhere. And obviously I'm at St. Mary's, but you get to all the games that we may not be able to be privy to. So, man, good job
Yeah,
Thank you.
and I appreciate
Yeah, I
you.
really do appreciate that.
for sure. And then shout out to our producer, man. We here in the studio. I wish we could put him on screen right now, but shout out to Sante, man, and allowing us to come in. And he's the brother behind the scenes, man. And Harold Love, man, we appreciate you. Thank you. You said appreciate you, man. We appreciate you, Harold, for tuning in. Much love to you, Mr. Love. And then my guy again, Sante, man. Thank you, bro. You the guy that nobody sees and behind the scenes and making it work and taking the phone calls. And I'm telling him to put it back on the screen, and he's helping out a lot. And you guys ever need to do a show or anything with photography or video, please check him out.
F&G.
F&G Media Arts, and he would definitely take care of you. So you can what's your website, big dog? FNGimages.com. Please visit him. He'll get you right for whatever you guys need, and we appreciate that. Mrs. TD Love says, "Oh, she got the shout outs with the what is that right there?" Oh, okay, that's the white. Oh, okay. Shout out, Mrs. Love. So, hey, we appreciate everybody. This was all for you guys. It's all love. It's the passion we have, man. And good luck to everybody in the playoffs on Friday. Was it Friday and
Friday,
Saturday?
Friday and
Friday and Saturday. And we'll be back at some point, Reg.
December 7th.
December 7th. So look forward to you guys. That being said, love you guys, man. Good job. We'll see y'all December 7th. All right? Salute, peace, love, hair grease, all that good stuff.
Yeah. Bang, bang.
Holla back.